Hello everyone, today is the 7th of September 2025. Thank you for joining our discussion of the Avatamsaka Sutra. We're discussing chapter 1, the world rulers. All these are the celestial kings who are ruling over the various levels of the heavens up above us. And this section here is the section where the Kumbhanda kings, celestial king, and the leader of them was saying verses to praise the Buddha, and then the remaining 5 celestial kings would also speak their own to praise the Buddha as well. All right. And we're on slide 183. Sentient beings are ever blinded by the cataract of ignorance. The Buddha's radiance lights up the path to peace.
众生痴意常蒙惑，佛光照现安隐道。
Rescuing and protecting them, he frees them from suffering. This is a Dhamma door contemplated by terrifying.
为作救护，令除苦，可谓能观此法门。
Okay. Sentient beings are ever blinded by the cataract of ignorance. First of all, the translation a little bit loose. Ho is delusion, is not ignorance. There's a big difference in Buddhism between delusion and ignorance. Delusion is a lot coarser. Delusion is what afflicts the average person. Ignorance is what afflicts the people with wisdom. Even people with wisdom have their own ignorances, including bodhisattvas, because they have such ignorances. Again, this is why bodhisattvas commit offenses. All right? They have their own blind spots. Okay, but it's not intentional. Whereas for lay people, for ordinary people, they have delusions. Okay, all right. They are ever blinded by the cataract of ignorance, and the cataract of delusion. So delusion is like a cataract that will render you unable to see clearly. You can see, but the form is not clear, depending how bad the cataract is, meaning depending how heavy your delusion is, your vision would be correspondingly worse. Okay? And because of that, sentient beings are basically incapable of seeing properly, seeing what they're supposed to see. Okay? What it has to do with you, since you also have good eyesight, and some of you are even wear eyeglasses. Well, sometimes your eyeglasses are kind of not very clear. Mine is 3 years old now. I begin to see a little bit off already. Okay, but they're referring to the fact that even with your good eyes and your good eyeglasses, you still cannot see because of your delusions. Okay, meaning that what are delusions? Again, feel free to read this. Sometimes I'm lazy, after a good taco Sunday, I don't feel like reading. I don't know about you. But I just don't, in the mood to read. So I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to speak my own stuff. So you can read and listen. Half ear listen, half ear read, half eye read. That's fine with me. Now, Master Shenhua has a very charming way of explaining things, and it's very special. He doesn't use fancy words. He explains things very blunt, very clear, very succinct. I like it. I really love it. Well, again, sometimes I'm lazy. I'm just too much reading. I have a cataract of ignorance. All right. Where were we? Okay, so living beings, even though they have good vision, have clear visions, they still cannot see properly because it's cataract of delusion. So in other words, delusions are like a cataract that will make it impossible for you to see clearly. Okay? And this is coming from the sage's perspective. They know that you're smart. They know you are perfectly functional. Okay? However, you don't realize there's a cataract of delusion that prohibits you, inhibits the proper vision from all of you. Isn't that interesting? And this is a common observation. It's nothing personal. He says, well, you are a living being, therefore you have this cataract of delusion. Okay? Unless you have been certified to have wisdom, rest assured that you have improper visions of things, of reality. How is that? Any problems with this? And this is what makes Buddhism very difficult for the intellectuals, for the smart people, for the educated people to accept. Because they said, you are speaking nonsense. I see perfectly well. Actually, I see a lot more than you, a lot better than you. Some of you even open your eyes and see things. And I see things, you can't see things. How can you say that my vision is impeded by cataracts? Okay? You may be able to see things, but you still have cataracts and that prohibit you from seeing things that are harmful to you. Yes, sir. 3.
Thank you, Master. Can we say that these cataracts are our ego?
Part of it is your ego, but it's the nature of delusions. Okay, and that manifests via the ego, but it's a lot more than just the ego. Okay, another word that's of interest here is blinded. Okay, meaning that you cannot see. You think you're able to see, but actually you can't. Okay, and no matter how smart you are, no matter how successful you are, okay, you still are blinded, according to the Buddha, from the cataract of delusions. You have certain delusions. Delusions are simply your inability to understand. You think you understand, but you're deluded. All right? And so, and that's why they use the analogy of cataract of delusion. You see, but you see blurry. You don't quite see properly. Okay? And it's very dangerous for us to rely on such vision. Such vision, see, blinded. Blinded refers to your vision. And the vision here is not just vision. Actually, vision refers sense organs. The Buddhists like to use vision as a representative of your sense organs. You have 6 sense organs. You are blinded by these cataracts of delusions. The ear hears sounds, but you don't quite hear properly. The nose can smell Chanel number 5, but it's not quite Chanel number 5, okay, and so forth. All right? And because the nature of our delusions. Meaning, in other words, if you're totally dependent upon your six sense organs, okay, you are subjecting yourself to a lot of delusions. That's what he's saying. Hello, everyone. Are we still awake? You want me to crack some jokes first? This is why usually on Sunday afternoon, I start by cracking jokes and joking around so that after an hour, then Jing Xiang will wake up. When I was at Lu Mountain Temple, she would, eat very well as usual, on the weekends. And then she comes to the Buddha Hall early. I go, and so typically, the first half hour, I threw it away. I spoke nonsense. And no one noticed. And after half an hour, Jin Xiang wakes up. Oh, I'm supposed to learn something here. Okay. It's okay. You ate too many tacos. We understand. Okay, it's okay to enjoy yourself a little. You guys missed the fact. What were you cheering about? The cheer, I heard a very loud cheer, the entire dining hall. What was it about? Just like in Vietnam, where as soon as we serve some beer, you say, yo! Is that what it's about? That's it? Party animals. Cheers. Oh, Vietnam is yo! It's spelled exactly the same as the English. Yo! All right. Are we awake? See, I usually have to crack some jokes first. I should stick to that. Okay. The Buddha's radiance lights up the path to peace. Why is it so fast? He says, why do you pay so much attention to me? I said, usually younger people apologize. He said, no, don't criticize me. So Vietnam. Okay. No, she's happy. That's the whole point. The whole point is that we like you to come to the temple and be happy. That's the main thing. Eventually you become enlightened anyway, so, sooner or later. It's amazing. I've seen people coming to the temple as much as they could. Some people would come like only Sunday morning for the Buddha recitation, the sutra recitation, and that's it. They have to go to work. Okay? And after 20 years or so, and this lady is certified the first stage arhatship too. It's fascinating to me. What is it with you guys? You know how tough it is? And for most monks and nuns to get to first stage arhat, it's very, very difficult. Even Master Shenhua's disciples, they don't make it to first stage arhat. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, you are so special. Now we awake? Huh? Okay, half hour. We're right on time. The Buddha's radiance lights up the path to peace. Buddha emits light. This is the nature of Buddhas. You may not be able to see it, but the Buddhas emit light. Okay? This is light here. It will illuminate and to reveal. We say the Chinese is beautiful. I wish you learn Chinese. Okay? Please don't, no matter how much we hate the Chinese, the other Chinese, you should be grateful to them because it's so beautiful, the wisdom. This is from the Chinese Bodhisattvas. This is so beautiful. It says, Zhao is illuminate. Xian is to reveal. Sin is manifest. It also revealed. In this here is when you light, the light is shining on the path and revealing. You see how beautiful it is. So the Buddha, by his mere presence, his mere being himself, being a Buddha, okay, he naturally emits light. What is this light? This light here is the inherent light of wisdom that enlightened people have. When I tell you, when I certify you to be enlightened. Yeah, it happens occasionally. Yeah. But you're not supposed to tell others here, okay? You emit light. Okay? You emit light, that's why you chao xian. Okay? You illuminate, you light up, and make visible what? The path of, not peace, of an safety. This is in. Actually, it's one. But this is equivalent to one nowadays. Back then it's an in, okay? But actually an one. Again, Chinese people, feel free to correct me. I take a lot of liberties with your language, okay? Because the rest of them don't know. So an one dao. An is safety, one is stability. In other words, what do living beings need? Safety and stability. What do we all need? We need to be safe and need our lives to be predictable. The Buddha sees it as the real needs of living beings, especially living beings in our Saha world. Okay? We need to have safety, security, need to feel safe, and need to be able to expect things to happen a certain way. That's how our lives need to be. Okay? For example, those of you, especially here in Southern California, we have a lot more gig economy where you work for, and you get a contract, and you work for a while, and the contract is up, now you look for another one. It's a gig economy, like you get a gig singing at a bar. Do you? Yeah? That's what he does at night. If you don't see him at night, that's what he does. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. You didn't know? He's very private. He's slowly building up his fame. And then one day, bam, he'll be so rich and famous and look at you and say, who are you? Do we know each other? Okay? How did we get there? I get what? A gig economy. So here in Southern California, okay, we are a gig economy. Whereas up there in Northern California, especially Silicon Valley and the city, okay, it's more like jobs, okay, including the, I don't want to get the Asians in trouble, but a lot of people who work in the restaurant business, they usually don't have work permits. But it's safe from ICE because ICE are looking for the big things. Okay, they want to get on the news. No one's going to report them going to a Chinese restaurant and catch one or two old Chinamen who've been working there for his entire life. Have you been to a Chinese restaurant in San Francisco? Okay? Usually, in those old established restaurants, you find these one or two old men who's been there their entire lives. They're skinny for the last 50 years, like that. They work their butts off. That's why Chinese food is so cheap up there. Okay? Very simple dreams. Just want to live their lives. Okay? Anyway, so it's a gig economy, whereas typically, when people have gig economies, they are under stress. Whereas when you have a job, steady paying job, it's a lot more preferable for the majority of us. So this is what's referring to the peace, the path to safety and predictability. It's not peace, okay? It has nothing to do with peace. Okay? Peace is a luxury. We're talking about fundamental needs here. We need to feel safe and need our lives to be predictable. We don't want too many surprises. Is that clear? The surprise equals stress. Yeah? Oh, all right. So the Buddha radiance, you have wisdom. You naturally emit this light yourself. And this light there, illuminate, okay? Make it manifest the path of safety and stability. Isn't it interesting? Okay? So the light there is an analogy that when you make it visible, so it means that your wisdom, your inherent wisdom, when you have that real wisdom there, okay, the nature of your wisdom is that you help people feel safer and more stable. Help people's lives in that way. Isn't that cool? It doesn't pay, but that's what you do. You want to make money, you don't need to cultivate. But when you cultivate, you have no money, but you're happier. Look at us, look at these people. Look how happy they are. No money, but eat very well. Okay? Yeah. So far, so good? And so you see, the radiance here, again, this is very subtle. The Buddha's wisdom, meaning the enlightened people wisdom. Remember, when you talk about enlightenment is you have the Buddha's wisdom. It's not different from Buddha's. Actually, the Buddha is more complete than yours. But your wisdom, your light, is the same as the Buddha's. Not as bright, but So it serves the same function, the same purpose, meaning that will help people feel more stable and more secure with their lives. Okay? And that's very hard to monetize, very hard to justify how much you should be charged for it. Okay? Buddhas, they help naturally. You help people naturally when you have wisdom. And it's real. Because even though they can't quantify it, but when people are near you, near enlightened people, they feel safer and they feel less stressed out. Okay? Next, rescuing and protecting them, he frees them from suffering. Okay. Buddhas not only provide security and stability by his wisdom light, meaning that his wisdom light enables you okay, to find security, to find safety. So far, so good. It's self. It's self-attained. You attain by yourself. You need someone with wisdom, you naturally will find something safe and stable for yourself. Furthermore, Buddhas don't just stop there. There's a difference between Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Okay? People with great wisdom versus people with wisdom. Buddhas rescue, chiu, is to help, okay, and rescue. And hu is protect. So furthermore, not only about wisdom, but Buddhas also have the ability to rescue and protect living beings. So now it's the next level of skill set. Okay, one is automatic, where you have this wisdom light, would help people naturally by being near you. So far, so good. By having conditions with you. Okay, they don't need to be near you. They could simply have conditions with you. Meaning what? When they have conditions with you, then they're able to benefit from you. Okay, for example, we have you post a video on the Dharma on the TikTok. There's no Dharma on TikTok, right? On YouTube, okay? It's there, but only the people who have conditioned with you will be able to see it, and when they see it, something strikes a chord with them, inside of them, and they connect with that because they have conditions with you. On the other hand, if they have no conditions with you, you can have lots of videos on there, no one watches them. So far, so good? Okay. So the next level is that the Buddha says, I will rescue and protect living beings. Okay? And how can I get the opportunity to do that? Because when they suffer, I'm able to do that. The men are more interested in my lectures than the women. The women ate too many tacos. Okay, yeah, I can always count on my boys. Okay, yeah. So this is the thing. Okay, when you're suffering, okay, if you simply think of the Buddha, ask for help from the Buddha, this is when he has a chance to help you. It's worth a try. Okay? Instead of saying, I can't find a way, I'm at the end of my wits, I don't know what else to do. Okay? This is when you call out to God, you call out to Buddha, Allah, and all those things. There's some beings that are much higher level than you. Grow up. Don't be so short-sighted, small-minded. Okay? Yeah. Did I see a one here, or anyone would like to ask a question? Yes, one.
Thank you, Master. Just have a question about when we suffer, we have to ask for help first, right, to get help.
Sounds right.
I mean, like we might be suffering and the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are looking down on us and, oh, look, they're suffering. Oh, too bad. And we have to wait till we suffer enough, then we go, help, and they go, okay, like that?
Yeah, you need to be cruel sometimes on your Buddha. You see people suffering. So?
Yeah. It's not enough. Yeah.
Yeah, still.
Okay.
Especially Catholics.
Hey, wait a minute.
Okay. No, it's a different conditions. Usually, this is what happens for your information. I'm no Buddha, but this is how I see it. Okay, because it happened to me. Buddhas, unlike you, they don't meddle. Ordinary people like to meddle. And said, you look like you're suffering so much. I'm going to help you. Okay? Whereas Buddha look at suffering and said, okay, oh, I feel so bad. Your suffering is my suffering. Like my amigo says, mi casa es tu casa. You don't speak Spanish? You're missing out all there. Your Spanish, Filipino is a form of Spanish thing. Yeah. Okay, so Buddhas feel your suffering, but they cannot meddle. They don't meddle. Okay, we meddle. We love to meddle, but and we justify ourselves. I meddle because. Okay, but Buddha, they have to wait until we ask for help. Is that clear? That's a difference. People with wisdom, they wait. Okay? Not only that, they rescue and protect you. Okay? The rescuing refers to the fact that you cannot help yourself, you're in big trouble, you're sinking, you're drowning, okay? You're dying, so they rescue you. You need to be helped, you need to be rescued. Okay? And not only after you rescue, you need to be protected so that you are able to become stronger, you have time to become stronger so that you can take care of yourself. And guess what? The protection is designed to help you, to help buy time for you so that you can grow stronger. You have a chance to grow stronger. Just like children, we need to protect them. We need to rescue and protect the children so that they have the chance to grow up and become an adult. Same thing. Buddhas need to rescue, protect living beings so they have a chance to become enlightened. Okay? And he can free living beings from suffering if they simply ask. Okay? Yeah. And I know some of you are probably thinking, but I asked, but my suffering didn't end. Anyone? Does it apply to anyone? Raise your hand. It happened to you? You asked for Buddha's help and Buddha didn't help at all? Have you figured out why? Huh? Why didn't Buddha help you? That the lady here who no longer sleeps after Sunday lunch. Yes, 8.
Mô Phật Thầy, lý do tại vì cái nghiệp chướng mình phải trả, thành ra Thầy Phật muốn giúp mình cũng phần nào tôi không có giúp hết, mình phải trả cái nghiệp đó mới là thoát được. Mô Phật Thầy.
Hello, Master. It is because we all have karmic obstructions that we have to pay off. So the Buddha can only help us part of it, but cannot like all together help us. We ourselves have to pay the portion that due to us.
Yeah, or Buddha can be on vacation. Yeah. He said, I'm busy. Call back next week. I'm in the Bahamas right now. Come back. Okay? Or you call Buddha and there's a message that says, I'm sorry, I'm out of town until 3 more weeks. Okay? But leave your message. I return your call. Anyone else? Yes, in the back. I hear rumblings in the back. Buddhas don't help me at all. No more? No more questions? Yes, sir. 3.
Thank you, Master. I also sometimes think that what we want is not what we need at the moment. So also the Buddhas, sometimes they let us suffer because it's the right thing for us at that moment so we can grow stronger. Maybe they give us their strength, but in order for us to solve problems, not for him to solve our problems.
But they could be on vacation too. It's not always the case. They have to work 24 hours a day. No, they need time to rest and be on, spend time with the family. Exactly. This is a funny thing. I know it's funny to you, but when you ask for help, rest assured that the Buddhas help. That's why they're Buddhas. They don't say, I don't like you. You are not sincere enough. I don't like you at all. Okay? Buddhas, when you ask Buddhas for help, they always help. Always. I assure you 100% of the time. Except that sometimes they don't help the way you want it. So, you listen, okay? This is personal experience. I asked Buddhas, I said, it's $1.6 billion lotto this past week. Help me. I knelt down, I prayed 3 times. As the Dharma says, when you are bowing to the Emperor Liang's repentance, I was also praying. And in some people's work, he didn't help. What?
You buy the ticket, Master?
Oops. I forgot. I imagine if I ask for help, I don't need to buy a ticket. Yeah, continue. Abuse me. Yeah, that's right. I forgot. I should have bought a ticket. Yes, one.
Master, one time I actually bought a lottery ticket. And then I went to my self-help program. And I told them, I am so worried. And they say, really? I say, but I bought a ticket, but I don't want to win it.
Make up your mind. And in my career, in my short career, I have a lot of very sincere and devout disciples who came to me and said, Master, super lotto. I said, yeah, but I'm not supposed to gamble. It's considered to be gambling. The lottery is basically gambling. We're not supposed to gamble. And so he says, but I can gamble for you. I said, that sounds okay to me. I can't tell you to gamble on my behalf, but you're free to do with your own volition. And he says, okay, I go buy the Super Lotto and help me out. I said, how? He said, if I win, I promise to give you half of my winnings. I said, yeah. It still didn't work. No, all joking aside, regardless, when you ask for help, you may not win a Super Lotto now, but in the future you will. How's that? When winning Super Lotto is good for you, you will. But if winning Super Lotto is not good for you, you won't, because that's not really helping, is it? Does it make sense? This is, now you sound like a Catholic. You say, God doesn't help because God, is busy on vacation, or it's better that God doesn't help you. No, this is, you can, I assure you, okay, it does not hurt to ask Buddha to help you win the Super Lotto. You ask me, because in the future, you will. And remember me. Okay? So he has wisdom to free us. He has wisdom to help us expel our suffering. And I don't know how much you are into, maybe something to do with they don't believe Buddha helps them. And this is Dhamma door contemplated by terrifying. This is one of the Kumbhanda ghosts. We look at him, you terrified out of your wits. You freeze out of terror. Okay? Next. 190. Full of woes, beings drift and flounder. In the sea of desire, the Buddha's wisdom shines universally, vanquishing misery entirely.
欲海飘沦具众苦，智光普照灭无余。
Dispelling the suffering, he speaks Dharma for them. Wondrous adornment has enlightened to this.
其除苦以为说法，此妙庄严之所悟。
192 commentary slide. Full of woes, being drift and flounder in a sea of desire. We live in the ocean of desires. Yeah? We want a new car, you want a new house, want a new husband, you want a new pen. You guys are so bad. You say, I'm gonna ask Buddha for help. It's not going to be for a new pen. You have no class whatsoever. I'm talking, when I say new pen, you know what kind of pen I'm talking about? Mont Blanc. It's $1,000 pen. No class whatsoever. Unlike my Korean disciples, they have class. Okay? So we have so many desires that we're drowning in desires. Interesting? It's the desire that's making us perish. Isn't it interesting? It's so casual here. The yu hai, and it's this sea desire, ocean desire that make us suffer. Whereas we Americans, okay, because now being American is really a privilege, because the rest of the world is suffering so much, and they all have to pay tariffs. Never mind, I'm kidding. We are one of the, in the West, we worship chasing after desires. We have the right to be happy, have the right to be satisfied, and we have the right to be ourselves. We have the right to indulge ourselves, and so forth. Okay, and when okay, if you are that way, it's okay. But you need to remember, the Buddha says, the more desires you have, the more you indulge yourself, the more you suffer. So interesting. Okay? And nowadays, the young monks and nuns, they learn a little bit and they start opening a temple, and now they only talk about how wonderful it is to want things. And they praise seeking happiness, seeking good things in life, and so indulging in desires, and that's the nature of happiness. Buddha says, the more desires you have, okay, the more you will suffer. And what kind of suffering? Desires will. 标轮 here is 标 is to float, okay, to float around like that wreckage thing on the ocean, and lun is to sink. So you sink and you submerge and you rise to the surface and you go like this, and you submerge, you go up, and I say it's a constant thing for us. Okay, we are being blown a different direction. You have no sense of direction. Okay, no control our lives. You don't know what we're doing, and then we submerge, meaning we can't breathe, and we panic. Okay, we're in danger, and somehow we manage to get up on top again. So up and down, up and down, up and down. Okay. And the up and down right there is the nature of our suffering. Sometimes we're in control. It seems like we're in control. We are okay, but then we sink. Yes, one.
Master, I have questions about desires. When I was young, I believed there was only one type of desire that's justified, which was a desire to do well at school and later at work. So I felt ashamed of my other desires and suppressed them. Mm-hmm. And then I entered another stage of my life when I had little to no desire for almost anything because I was in a depressed state. Mm-hmm. So my life energy was too low to have any desires. Mm-hmm. And now, after more than 2 years of cultivation, I feel that my suppressed desires have come to the surface of my consciousness. So I want like beautiful clothes. I want to listen to pleasant music. I want to dance and want to make friends. I think this is the first time I don't feel bad about my desires. So my question is, are all desires necessarily a bad thing, or they could be neutral? Because I feel more alive and happier, actually.
And you're not suffering at all? Think carefully. Before you answer, think carefully.
Suffering is always there.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. What she's talking about is the American dream. We call it, it manifests itself as the American dream. You make sacrifices to get ahead, to go get good grades, get your degrees, get a great job, yeah, and that's success for you. Okay, and that's fine. But that only takes care of your material life. It doesn't take care of your head. It doesn't take care of your heart. You will not prepare to be happy here. You're not prepared to be happy here. You only prepare to be happy with money. That's imbalance. Okay? And this is not just you. It's That's how I was as well. This is my generation as well. Mine is even worse than yours. Mine is that I need to be successful. I had to be a minister. I had to be a CEO. Otherwise, it's failure. It's even worse than you. Okay? It's totally unjustified. It's vanity. Okay? And so this is a problem with the sea of desires. Okay? You have few desires, but you may have few desires. Okay? On the surface, you simply are, some of them are stronger, and some of them are in the back burner. Now you got there. Now you are at the point in life where you said, I'm going to unleash my desire and be myself. I don't know where you learned that from, but this is not cultivation. You're giving cultivation a bad name. Don't be so proud that now you release your desire. I let my desire flourish. Okay? Look, the Korean Sunims are disappointed. Look at them. Okay? So, am I to interpret from your statement that you're happy?
I think happier than when I was depressed.
Okay. That is a middle way. I don't happen to believe in suppressing myself all the time. When you're in training, and again, you trainees, pay attention. Don't say that, Master just said, it's okay for me to, indulge myself. No, when you're under training, you learn to suppress desires because you want to be in control of your life. Once you retain control, you achieve control of your life, you need to learn to rebalance your life. Okay? Listen, there are people who believe in cultivation where they are so pure, okay, they're free from desires, and then they look at you and say, stay away from me, you're evil, I don't want your money, I don't want your car, I don't want your tacos, I don't want. Okay? And it's because when you give them tacos, they feel, I like tacos too much. Not healthy. That's desire. That is suffering. That's imbalance. Okay? And so, that's a good thing that, first of all, you learn to go through this training where you're able to suppress your desires. Okay? But after a while, eventually, when you have wisdom, that's when you have to restore balance. Okay? In our training program, we follow traditional style where we teach you, for example, shave your head so that you don't have to go to a barbershop too often. Okay? Wear some cheap clothes because you don't have to spend so much money on fancy clothes every year, new fancy clothes every year. For us, every year is the same color, brown. How many variation can you have with brown? Okay, so we do it on purpose because it has proven to work for you. But eventually, okay, and that's what my master showed us. Okay, but eventually, once you go beyond a certain level, then it's our responsibility to bring back balance to your life. Because without balance, you cannot help living beings. How can you help someone who is addicted to seafood. If you don't understand that. So the Bodhisattvas, they started out with their training to be vegetarian. Eventually, I would not be surprised if one day they said, I should have some oysters. But they're not attached to oysters. When you're not attached to oysters, you're not attached to Super Lotto, hint, hint, then it's okay. The Buddha will give you Super Lotto. If he gives you Super Lotto and you attach to it, he's not going to give it to you. Does it make sense? He's supposed to help you, not hurt you. Okay? So eventually, the path of the training is a very long path. Okay? Relax. It's not the end of the world. So for this lady here who sacrificed her entire life and raised a family and tried to help her family and have a career and so forth, that's very good. But it's still out of balance. Okay? Even though the wisdom has been opened yet, but it's best that you have more balance. Why? For the sake of your children. You owe your children to give them the proper guidance, okay, so that they have a good balance in life. Because if you live an unbalanced life, this is what your children take as standard. Okay? So that's why you have to be flexible. Okay? So that's why I advocate that it's okay, live your life, okay? Enjoy your life. All I ask from you is that when it's time to cultivate, like you come to the temple on the weekends, give it your all, practice, deprive yourself, okay? And so forth, because that will help you. But once you leave the temple, live a normal life. You're not a monk, you're not a nun. Live a normal life. Nothing wrong with it. Okay? And that's good enough. That's balance. That's also the middle way. You don't know what it is yet, but that's the beginning of middle way, by the way. We're preparing you to live the middle way. Okay? So don't worry. It's more balanced. Okay? I'm for more balance for normal people. When you have some wisdom, the balance, if we have some real wisdom, high enough wisdom, that's when balance really, really matters. And that's the middle way. It's wrong to deprive yourself and hide in a temple and hide away from civilization and others. That's not balance. Okay, there must be a balance. Okay, both sides. You need time to purify yourself, free yourself, to cleanse yourself. Okay, and then you re-engage. So it has to be both. Okay, in my view, and that's a lot faster for you, to me. Okay. Because of the people who hide, who deprive themselves of things, when they get back to society, they're very fragile. They're very easily corrupted. Whereas you get corrupted and go back, restore balance, and you say, that's my weakness. Let me work on that. You work on weakness, you come back and say, see, I've addressed my weakness. But then you find another one, okay? And you go back. So to me, that's balance. And that's what, by the way, that's what bodhisattvas do. The arhats, they hide. They said, don't touch me. Don't go near me. Stay away from me, you devils. Okay? Whereas bodhisattvas, they engage. And they say, oops, sorry. They screw up. They come back and say, "Oop, I better fix this problem." Okay? And they fix it, and they say, I'm not affected by it anymore. They come out and they check again to make sure they're not affected. You got that? That's a difference. That's the middle way. You're learning the middle way. Okay? So there's a process there of training that bodhisattvas go through. Okay? Any other questions? Yes? 3?
Thank you, Master. I was reading the example that Master Shenhua was describing, and it looks like it's desires, but from a selfish perspective. But when I listen to this, like about the bodhisattvas, that they, for example, have the desire to help others, where does it come from, the desire, without any filter that you're going to benefit yourself, but it's purely to benefit others?
I don't know. When I become a bodhisattva, I tell you, I'm only speaking in a theoretical perspective. I assure you, when you become a bodhisattva, it will be a lot clearer to you. Okay? Right now, we're only discussing theory. You have to do it and say, that's why I have to do this. Okay? Out of respect for them, we don't want to talk too much. I gave you too much information already. The Chinese, the Asian prefer that you put them on a pedestal. The Arhat, the Bodhisattva on a pedestal, you are perfect, and you're someone we can worship and someone we follow. Okay? I am not that of that belief. I don't share that belief. I feel Bodhisattvas are real. I look at my master. I love what he does. Okay? But people don't understand why he's doing it. Okay, and the traditionally, the Asians, I don't like it. I feel that it's misleading for me as a Western educated person. I want you to know the truth, that bodhisattvas and arhats, they have weaknesses, they have issues they need to work on. That's why they're here. Okay? We don't need to put so much pressure on them and say, I'm perfect, I'm much better than you. Yes, I'm better than you in some aspects, but I'm not better than you than others. That's why I'm here to learn from you. Be more humble. Okay? This perfect aura of purity and so forth, I don't think is real. I don't think will work for the Western, to the Westerners and this Dharma ending age. We need to be truthful. We need to be realistic. Okay? There's nothing wrong with admitting that I'm weak, I'm wrong. I will be better, because that's the truth. You don't need to pretend. And this is the problem with the monks and nuns nowadays. Somehow, from the Chinese tradition, Asian tradition, they put them this pedestal that makes it impossible for them to keep up. And so they pretend instead of being real. When you pretend, that's when you cannot develop wisdom. I'd rather you lose respect for my people than put them in a place where they are stuck by that. They feel obligated to be better than you, pretend to be better than you, and that's very unhealthy to me. That's not Mahayana at all, and that's the weakness of the Asian model. I want you to be real, that's all. Yeah. Sometimes I screw up. But I fix it. That's the difference. People with wisdom, they realize they screw up and they fix it. All right. See, in other words, it's fine. For in her case, it's fine. Continue. Nothing to worry about. Okay? One day, when you have more time, when you have more opportunities, then extend the cultivation time. See, because you need to a longer time period for your desires, all these ocean desires in your head, to settle. You need to see that. So it's physical. The waves, okay, needs protection from the wind for the waves to die down. If you keep on exposing yourself to the wind, the waves will always be there. So that's why coming to the temple, it looks like it's a waste of time, it's a long drive, and really not getting anything. What you were not realizing, when you come to the temple, you're shielded from waves. And that's why you're giving yourself a chance to settle down. Okay? And if that's all you can do, you've done your jobs. Let them bow to Wanyin Bodhisattvas and give them a chance for the waves of the mind to die down. Okay? And for that to happen, don't try to pick the pockets. No matter how poor you are. Okay? Okay. So this is life is unstable for us. We drift around, and then we submerge, we sink, and then we make it to the top, and we drift around again. That's the pattern of lives. Think about it. You love, life is beautiful, you get married, and then when you fall out of love, and so forth. Sea of desires. There's a lot. So drift and sink, okay, submerge. Okay, and what Master Shinhua is talking about here, yes, 3.
아미타불 마스터. 이번에 미국에 오게 됐습니다. 3개월간 이제 잘 지내다가 이제 내일이면 돌아가게 됐는데요. 출가를 허락해 주시고 또 이렇게 트레이닝을 시켜 주셔서 감사합니다. 막상 와보니 너무 훌륭한 시스템 안에 제가 있다는 걸 알게 되었고, 더 훌륭하신 스님들의 모습을 그냥 보고만 있어도 배우는 게 있고, 제 자신이 좀 부끄러워진 것도 많이 있었습니다. 이런 기회를 주셔서 감사하고 앞으로 더 열심히 하겠습니다. 감사합니다. 그리고 또 이제 여기서 지내는 동안 항상 저희를 서포트해 주시는 제가자분들과 또 공양간에서 맛있는 음식을 준비해 주신 제가자분들께 감사의 말씀을 드리고 싶습니다.
Master, it has been 3 months since I arrived in the USA. Thank you.
Already? 3 months? Wow. So quickly.
So tomorrow I'm returning back to Korea.
Oh.
Master, thank you for giving me a permission to leave home and allow me to train under your guidance. While I was in the US, I realized I'm in the wonderful system and taken care by you. And just looking at the superior senims here, just looking at them, I learned a lot. A lot of times that remind of shames of myself. Thank you for giving me chances to be here. and I will work harder from
Okay.
now on. And for 3 months, supporting us, the kitchen crews and lay people, I'd like to say thank you.
Okay. What do you have to say to him? Nothing. You guys are so tough. He opened his heart to you and said, okay, and? So are you ready to be ordained? No, it takes 1 year, right? Never mind. Forget it. Okay. Go back. Go with God. Go. I hope you learned something. You improve a little. That's good. You are smart. You're perfectly capable of taking care of yourself. That's your weakness. Meaning that you can hustle and you have proven to yourself you can take care of yourself. And you have ambition. That's a very healthy thing. Okay? Meaning that you look at others and say, I can do that. And I'm going to prove to people I can do that. And there's no doubt in my mind you can do it. You need time. In a system, in your country system, it's much harder for you to prove yourself because it's not skill alone. It's about someone has to open the door for you. Okay? That's your system. In Korea, it's very tough. You need to have a sponsor. Okay? And so part of your blessing is that you have really found a sponsor yet. No one spotted you and said, let me pull you up. Okay? Whereas in the U.S., our environment is more opportunities in that sense, where you can do your work and then you prove yourself and the market will reward you for it. Whereas in Korea, what I've found so far is that someone has to sponsor you. That's your best chances of success, career-wise. Okay? Otherwise, it's going to take you 20 years, 15, 20 years before you can make it. Okay? That's part of your blessings, by the way. Because if someone sponsors you, then by now you'll be married to his daughter already. That's unmoving, dear. This one is so obvious. That's unmoving. People who have wisdom will not be, have any reaction. So, I believe that you are continuing your career will probably take you 10 years, 15, 20 years, you'll be established. Okay, because you're ambitious, you learn, you invest and learn, invest and learn. Okay? And that skill will be appreciated by someone good. That's why I spot people. In my prior life, I spot people, okay, and bring them up. And that's, you're able to do that. But your blessings is that you're in a system where you need someone to open the doors for you. In America, you need to produce. That's all that matters. No one opened the doors for me. Certainly not my master. Actually, his students closed a lot of doors for me. I had to open new ones. Okay? And so your blessing, nature, your blessing is that if you were successful, you wouldn't even bother considering doing this. If you made a lot of money and you become a famous architect already, you say, monk are losers. you know? And so what I mean by blessing is that because you had the blessings, you did not find success early in your career. That's why you say, okay, I give this a try, okay, and see what happens. And that's when you have a chance to see that all these people are scary, okay? They are so much better than you. It's true. You're good in your field. You're good out there already, okay? But these people are better. Think about it. Because why they're better? They're better because they set higher goals. Yours is about this level. Theirs is much higher up there. And you don't realize, or you, all of you, that setting goals is one of the most important things in life. You set the right goals, you make it. You set the wrong goals, you limit yourself, limit your potential. You set low goals. That's your problem. It's too late now. You committed. Meaning you owe them. You owe your kids, you owe your mother, you owe your parent, you owe your student. That's why you set low goals to take care of them. Okay? It's a matter of debt. We're paying off our debts. You owe your children. Okay? That's why you have to take care of them now. Okay? You know, your husband, because you have to make babies for him, and so forth. So you see, it's about setting goals, number one. Okay? If you have so much resources, and you set low goals, this is all you're going to stop yourself. This is all you're going to do. When you only get this far, and then you waste the rest of your resources when you get there. Whereas if you have these higher goals, then everything is dedicated towards climbing. And that's how you get higher. And that's the difference in lives. You need to challenge your children to set higher goals. Okay? Yeah. And in Mahayana training, everyone has a fair shot. Okay? Because of leaping. You can leap anytime. Prepare. And eventually you leap. Okay? So hang in there. If you hang around long enough, I would challenge you to spend the next 10 years of your life. Develop some real skills. And after 10 years, several years and 10 years, when you have some real skills, within several years to 10 years, you have some real skills. You can make a killing doing anything you want. Go and be a nasty politician. Why? Okay? Have your own temples, and so forth. Yeah. It's not much develop real skills in life. You can use lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. Because all you got, you lose it when you die. Your professorship, your money, you lose it. But your samadhi, your blessings will always be there for you. Lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. See, that's why I still hard on that woman who is sleeping, is still sleeping. Because if she works hard right now, she'll bring her level to the Pureland. The Buddha speaks Dharma to her and says, she immediately reaches the same exact level she is right now. That's all it takes. Lifetime after lifetime.
Thông cảm cho con đi. Tại con một đêm con ngủ nó không có ngủ được giấc. Nó cứ giặt bẻ bữa khi đau quá thức dậy đứng cây đi và ngậm cái bắt đầu ngủ lại. Thành nên nó không có đủ ngủ.
All days.
Nhà đấy thầy con buổi trưa con còn ngủ được 1-2 tiếng, vô chùa đâu có ngủ được đó. Thầy về ba ngủ ngục đó. Thông cảm thầy. Nó đặt cho con. Cảm ơn.
It's okay, don't worry. Can I finish this section here? Because if I come back, I have to go into different flounder, receive desire again. Okay, can we do that? Okay. So he's talking about the desire, and it's a good thing. Master Shenhua says, I want to add to this, is that when he talked about drifting and sinking, it's not this lifetime, folks. It's also after you die, you sink. Right now, you drift, okay? You think you're okay, you're happy, you're rich, you're famous, and so forth. But very high chances, very likely that you will fall, okay? And that's this sinking here. And once you fall, okay, it's a lot of suffering. You will not like it, and you will regret it. Okay? And it takes a lot of blessings for you to be able to believe that, by the way. The simple fact that you're okay right now, you're adrift, you're fine, okay, you're comfortable, you're in control. But when you sink, and you're guaranteed to sink, you will hate it. Just like when you swam out there. I don't know, you remember that? I remember I first started to learn to swim, and I sank. It's not good. It's scary. It's very unpleasant. Okay? So that's what he's talking about. And vanquishing misery. So again, Buddha's wisdom, his light, wisdom light, shines upon us and helping us extinguish all suffering. That's what Buddha wants to do for us. If you only stick around long enough, all your suffering will be vanquished. All of it. Okay? It's a matter of time. Dispelling the suffering, he speaks Dharma for them. If you want to speed up that process, learn the Dharma. That's what Buddha does. He speaks Dharma because why? Because to help you wake up, okay, out of your dreams. That's what it takes. And that's what wondrous adornment became aware of, realizes. Okay? Thank you, everyone. Next time we start at 2:01.